Take us inside the room of what you're hearing from your sources, from lawmakers, on what Speaker Pelosi had to say here.
First of all, Hallie, I almost always wear sneakers now up here. That's the kind of deal we've got going on Capitol Hill at the moment. Certainly always flats. And, you know, the reason is this is an incredibly fast-moving and developing story. One thing we learned this morning from members coming out of this room is that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is not going to name the managers today of this impeachment process over in the Senate. That is something we were watching for her to do as she consulted with her members behind closed doors, because we know it's expected, and she informed the caucus that the plan is to vote tomorrow to send those articles over to the Senate. A prerequisite for that is telling them, okay, these are going to be our prosecutors. They have to select a slate of people to go over and make this argument for impeachment on the floor of the Senate. We have some sense of who some of those people might be. Widely expected that Adam Schiff, chairman of the Intelligence Committee, big player in the process to date, also a very close confidant of Nancy Pelosi, expected to play a critical role here. Jerry Nadler, who you saw and played in that open, he is, of course, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, also played a key role and expected to continue to do so over in the Senate. But there are a lot of questions about who else is going to round out that team. Under Clinton, there were 13 managers. You may remember that this is when Lindsey Graham first made a particularly sharp impression on the American public as essentially a leader among those managers. So it's a very high-profile assignment. And it's also one, the Speaker has been talking about what this delay has accomplished for her and why she wants to know what the rules are going to be in the Senate. It's a big part of her thinking as she tries to select who these people are going to be. So that's what's happening so far this morning here on the Hill, Hallie.
Thank you for checking out our YouTube channel. Why don't you subscribe? It's really easy. Just click on that button down there. And for more news from MSNBC, click on any of these videos here for the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more videos from MSNBC with our newsletters. Head over to msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up.